Good day, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode with the Real Talks with Doc. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. If you're finding this content having any meaning or value to your development, your real estate, your renovation experience. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
What you got me for us today?
Okay, we decided to change up the scenery a little bit. The weather has been amazing these past 2 days. I mean, low 80s, high 70s. I mean, what more can you ask for in the month of August, in the middle of the summer? What's new, Kay? What's shaking, Kay? Excited, getting ready to break ground on our assisted living facility in Cumberland, Maryland. Everybody, please stay tuned for that. I'm so excited about this because it is a new space, but it's not a new space. It's not a new space in the sense that we get to build, which we love doing. So we're building our own assisted living facility. Yes, it's going to be about 9,800 square feet. Very excited about that, on roughly under acre lot. And we're going to have 16 beds that are going to be serving our senior population. Hopefully, doors are open same time this time next year. So, Kay, really excited about that. I'm sure you will document that journey for everyone to see, from, there being an existing single family home there now, to us demolishing that home, to us erecting this beautiful 9,800 square foot assisted living facility. Shout out to my business partner in this venture, Shayla Hamlin. And she is the owner of Aging Grace. I'm giving her a shameless plug right now. Always want to support the people in your circle. And she is in this space. So with us having the plan of building one of these a year, and she coming in being a dynamic partner who already have a successful business in which she placed nurses in the homes of senior residents who may be living with loved ones. This is already made for a great partnership, and I'm excited to be partnering with you, Sheila. So shout out to you this morning, Shayla Hamlin, for being a great partner thus far, and we're really looking forward to this new business venture. So I'm going to leave it there. Kay, there's a lot to talk about for that one new business venture, and we're ready to jump in.
What new general contracting regulations or permits changes should homeowners and investors expect this year?
Man, you really be keeping me on my A game with these questions, man. That's a little technical question there. So one of the changes that we're seeing is that from an electrical perspective, they are now, on recent plans we've seen, they've been asking us to use all 12 2-wire versus 14 2-wire. Now, why is that a significant difference? Number one, there's about a 30% difference in the cost of the wire per 250-foot roll. And number two, 14 2-wire normally gives you about 15 amperage of electricity versus 12 2-wire giving you about 20 amperage of electricity. For them to require that in recessed lighting, I think is a bit overkill. So we have been seeing that regulation change a bit much in terms of what the different municipalities who reviewed the plans for permitting has required us to do. And I've been catching that because the team has been bringing that back to me. New regulations that people should be on the lookout for. They're really cracking down on these sediment and erosion controls. Seem like they're hyper-focused on making sure that your controls around your construction sites are really tight. Did not see such an uptick and enforcement of that until recently this summer. So something's changed there. Something else I can think about, DC, not new, but really pushing for green space. Of course, every time you cut a tree that harms the environment, trees taking carbon dioxide that we exhale as a wasteful product, and they give us oxygen, which we inhale as a very useful life-dependent product. So they're very, 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 very conscious about making sure that we protect the trees and the environment. And if we are to remove trees and when we build, they want us to incorporate these green spaces in our bigger development projects, in which we're now putting trees and different species of plants on the roofs of many of our development projects these days. So that's not a new regulation, but a regulation that continue to enforce and encourage developers to make sure that we participate in. So this is some of the things off the top of my head, Kay, as you got me with these very technical questions before 6 a.m. on this beautiful Wednesday morning.
How do GCs handle labor shortage and skilled trade gaps?
Man, that's a great question, because I was talking to Akila, shout out to Shayla again, who introduced me to this dynamic business owner, worked for Clark Construction, worked for Booz Allen, Gilbane, all of these big heavy hitter construction companies who've been around for decades. that we learn from all the time. And she was just, we was talking first virtual meeting, just building networks, our networks, integrating my network into her network. And she was just saying how there's such a labor shortage and people kind of doing very unique things to keep construction working. Now, for us, fortunately, man, these mosquitoes out here, I just saw that, Kay. These mosquitoes like to tear me up. I got this South Carolina sweet blood, so y'all see me waving like that, I see them flying around. We might have to move this thing on the inside, but nevertheless, I'm gonna soldier it out. So, Dad, Kay, these mosquitoes that got me up. We talking about labor shortage in the workforce. What I would say to you is create a value proposition in your company as a GC where your workers see value not just in the short game of, this company over here is offering me $5 more an hour, but they see value in the long game that, look, we work hard to make sure that our construction workers got work 365 days a year. That's one of the biggest mottos in our company. And we say that in every meeting, like, look, guys, we know that you can go across this project over here, that's a 6-month project, and your stint in that project may be only 3-4 weeks. Yeah, they're paying you $5 more an hour, $7 more an hour, but what you gonna do after that 4 weeks is up and all that drywall is hung? What are you gonna do after that 6 weeks up and all the framing is done in the building? What are you gonna do after that 3 weeks is up and all of the plumbing is ran in the building? You can't run back here. And yeah, it may seem like you're getting $5 to $7 an hour, but you got another 49 weeks in a year that you gotta figure it out. So, just communicating to your staff and helping them understand what it means to be committed to a team, an organization that's committed to them, and getting them to understand that the short game in which a company over here or a GC is dangling over here to make sure they get their project finished on time, on schedule, is not worth the long-term gain that you've established or they've established within your organization because you're doing right by them, making sure they have work 365 days a year. Now, I can't say that all GCs can guarantee that, and all GCs don't carry a full-time construction staff like we do. On any given day, we can carry anywhere from 25 to 35 construction workers on any given day. On very, very heavy seasons, we can even go up to as much as 40+ construction workers, but on average, we're averaging about 25 to 35 construction workers on our payroll that we work hard to make sure that they have work 365 days a year, and thanks to our wonderful clients. I'm gonna give a shout out to Robin Galloway, and yes, I'm still waiting on my review, Ms. Galloway, and I'm putting you on live blast because Ms. Galloway is a client that we just recently met from another referral client, Ms. Gina Brown, and my clients like when I call their name on these videos, and they should feel good because y'all make us feel good. But nevertheless, Ms. Gina Brown, great client. We did probably 3 projects for her. She referred her friend, Robin Galloway, which we just did this huge driveway retaining wall construction project for her. And Ms. Galloway has already hired us to do 2 additional jobs with 1 pending. Those are the kind of things that keep us busy because we are passionate about making sure every client has an elite experience. And those are the opportunities that give us to make sure that our construction workers have work 365 days a year. So it's very important for you as GCs to make sure that your team understand the value proposition that you present because you're doing good business and making sure everybody stays working within your organization.
Doc, you want to go inside?
They tearing you up back there. Oh! We gonna move on this side. You back there like, I thought you about to step back there. I thought you about to pull out a sorority step back there. Look at it, they don't follow us in here. You know what I can't stand about mosquito bites? They linger. After they bite you, that thing still be itching. Oh my God. So back to the question. All right, let's get focused, man. Little mosquitoes not gonna take us off our A game. K. So the funny thing, K, is everybody's talking about these tariffs, and I know for the first time the administration is really, from what I understand, as of Friday, enforced tariffs for the first time. All of the other times it's kind of thread extended the deadline and pushing whatnot. We haven't really seen a significant increase in raw materials. We haven't seen a significant increase in finished material, and we haven't seen a significant increase in flooring, which are your 3 big categories of construction. We haven't seen it yet. We have seen a slight uptick in some of the roofing materials that we're using, but to say that there's been a significant increase in the construction materials that we've been using, we haven't seen it yet, to be quite honest.
How can...
Man, my whole body, that's one thing about these damn mosquito bites, man. They bite your head but feel like they done bit you on your neck. It must be a toxin that go through your bloodstream or something like that. Oh man, we having fun with these mosquito bugs today. God damn. They done tore my little chocolate behind up. You know, the funny thing, Kay, words of wisdom, this powerful, 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 powerful word in any relationship. And I'm gonna give a shout out to my client, Zach Z, out there in McLean, baby. Zach just shout out my man, Big Ben, my superintendent in the field, for crushing it this week. And Zach is one of those clients that's very meticulous, knows about construction, done some construction projects on his own, but Zach always keeps us honest. And Zach always communicates what's on his mind for us to have the opportunity to communicate back in meaningful, helpful dialogue to come to an understanding where we can have long, trusting relationships. Learn to embrace communication, both good and bad. There's this thing that, you know, in education, they always had these catchphrases, you know, just to kind of have some, you know, consultant for that month or that quarter, that year, that author. And they used to talk about having courageous conversations. Now, courageous conversations in simple terms, simply having real conversations with teachers who are not doing their job and getting them behind on track to make sure they serve these students that we have a responsibility to serve if we are entrusted with educating them. But having courageous conversation, real conversation, truthful conversation about what you're thinking, about what you know, about what you see, is important for the people you are in a relationship with. Because when you don't have meaningful, engaging, courageous conversations, then that leaves room for feelings of ill will, that leaves room for bad energy, and that leaves room for the devil to creep in and start to dismantle that relationship. So embrace communication. Embrace communication and sincerity. I just got finished reading this book, Crucial Conversations, and they have all kind of strategies and skills and these acronyms and whatnot. But the gist of the book is, how do you come to a conversation? Understanding what you want to be the goal of the conversation. How do you come to a conversation with the right tonality? How do you come to the right conversation with people being able to receive your intentions to move your agenda forward? And that doesn't have to sound like it's a situation all about you, but yes, we all come into situations understanding how we all can uplift one another, how we all can support one another, so that we all can move forward in life through our growth and our development. And one of the most important ways to do that is through healthy, positive, great communication. Communication leads to an understanding, and if you can go from an understanding to an overstanding, that's even great. But communication leads to that understanding that gives you long, trusting relationship. Communication, understanding, trust. Communication, understanding, trust. Say it with me. Communication, understanding, trust. Communication, understanding, trust. Communication, understanding, trust. You got it. Communication, understanding, trust. So those are the words of wisdom for today, Kay. And I'm getting ready to hit these streets. Kay is going to be shooting more content from our mega mansion that we're doing in McLean, Virginia. She's going to be shooting content from Zach's property. Yes, we are getting ready for finishes, getting ready to put drywall up over there. She's going to be shooting content from our full gut renovation over in the beautiful Crestwood neighborhood of Washington, D.C. What other site you hit today, Kay? Those three. Well, she got those three for certain. So stay tuned for those updates. And I thank you always for those direct messages, for those phone calls, and for trusting Tebow Residential to be your general contractor of choice. Until next time, I'll see you at our next construction site.